who's actually going to get the most out of a 16-inch, 2-horsepower drill press like this, and who would be better off putting their money somewhere else? If you're standing in your garage or small workshop wondering whether you should upgrade from a benchtop drill or keep using a handheld model for occasional jobs, that hesitation is exactly what I felt before I dug into the details. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The decision really comes down to how often you need to drill precise, deep holes in metal, how much space you have for a machine that sits on a floor-mounted base, and whether the extra features actually translate into real-world time savings for a typical DIYer or a small shop professional. When you look at the drill press market, most people fall into 3 buckets: hobbyist woodworkers who only need a low-speed, light-duty unit, metalworking enthusiasts who regularly punch through steel, and shop owners who need a machine that can run all day without overheating. The Baileigh DP1000 VS slots itself squarely in the middle of the metalworking crowd. Its 150 to 3,000 revolutions per minute variable speed range means you can slow down to a crawl for delicate tapping or crank up to a fast finish when you're pulling a series of holes in a steel frame. The 2-gallon coolant system is a practical nod to the fact that drilling 1-inch mild steel generates a lot of heat, and keeping the bit lubricated extends tool life, something you'll notice after a few weeks of regular use. If you've ever tried to drill a 5/8-inch CH tap on a handheld drill and ended up with a stripped thread, the auto-reversing tap feature on this machine is a genuine time saver. For anyone who spends at least a few hours a week on metal projects, those capabilities aren't just nice-to-have, they're the core reasons you'd consider a dedicated press. What really sets this press apart in everyday use is the combination of its rigid cast-iron base and the built-in safety shield. When you're pulling a long, straight hole through a piece of inch steel, any flex in the table can mean a misaligned hole and wasted material. The cast-iron construction eliminates that wobble, and the shield keeps metal chips from flying toward your face, a practical safety benefit you'll appreciate on the first run-in. The halogen gooseneck light is another subtle but useful detail. It shines directly onto the workpiece so you can see the drill bit's entry point without squinting, which speeds up setup time, especially in a dimly lit shop. I've seen owners mount this press on a concrete slab and use it for everything from drilling dowel holes in hardwood to punching out mounting brackets for a custom bike frame. And the transition between those materials is smooth because you can just dial the speed and let the coolant handle the heat. For a shop that needs a versatile, all-day workhorse, those practical strengths add up to real value beyond the headline 2 HP rating. On the flip side, the machine isn't a perfect fit for everyone. First, the 2-horsepower motor, while ample for most steel drilling jobs, can feel a bit underpowered if you start tackling larger, tougher alloys like stainless steel or if you try to push beyond the 1-inch depth limit on thick stock. In those scenarios, you'll hear the motor strain, and the speed may dip, which could lead to longer cycle times. Second, the footprint is sizable. The 16-inch column and the 2-gallon coolant reservoir mean you need a dedicated corner of your shop, and the 220-volt, single-phase power requirement isn't something you can plug into a standard household outlet without a proper circuit. If you're a weekend hobbyist who only drills occasional holes in aluminum or wood, the investment in floor space, power wiring, and the added maintenance of the coolant system may outweigh the benefits. Likewise, anyone who primarily works with non-metal materials will likely find a less expensive benchtop unit more sensible. The lack of a built-in digital readout for speed or a quick-change spindle also means you'll spend a little extra time adjusting the machine manually, which can be a nuisance for people who value plug-and-play simplicity. Bottom line, if you're a small shop metal fabricator, a serious hobbyist who spends several days a month drilling precise holes in steel, or someone who needs a reliable, low-maintenance solution for tapping and drilling larger diameters, the Baileigh DP1000 VS delivers exactly what the specs promise: steady power, adjustable speed, and practical features like coolant and a safety shield that show up in day-to-day use. If you're more of a casual DIYer, limited on space, or only need occasional light-duty drilling, you'll probably get better bang for your buck from a lighter-weight bench model. As always, weigh how often you'll use those metal drilling capabilities against the floor space and electrical setup you'll need. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon.